Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RedVsRed podcast, your favorite Manchester United fan channel. Today, I want to go ahead and talk about the match that we have upcoming in the Premier League on Sunday against Manchester City. And so, without further ado, why don't we just jump right into it? I'm Sporadiclese, and here's how I think Sunday is going to happen. Manchester City has only one win out of their last 10 games, 2 draws, and 7 losses. They are sliding and hard. Ever since Rodri got injured, we've kind of seen them get exposed, and there's really not been any type of uptick in form since then. There's no fixing. Their one win was against Nottingham Forest, and then they immediately followed that up with a match against Crystal Palace, and they drew 2-2 with a red card, and then lost again to Juventus, and so it's been a tough time for them, and I think that we Manchester United have a little bit more recent run of good form. We've got 2 wins in the last 5. Granted, there are a couple losses in there too. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag here recently, but more positive than not. Ever since Ruben Amorim came in, again, only 2 losses, those being at Arsenal and against Nottingham Forest, which we should have won against Nottingham Forest. In my opinion, we didn't because, a lot of reasons, but I digress. This match on Sunday, this is an important one, and it's going to kick off a run of games that is not going to be easy in the Premier League and the EFL Cup. And so, after this Manchester City game, we have Tottenham. Then we'll be at home against Bournemouth, away at Wolves, and then we've got the game against Newcastle and the second leg of Manchester United and Liverpool. So. Really, really tough coming weeks. That gets us up to about mid-January, and so not easy. Not a lot of easy games in there. And we're off the back of the win against Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League from midweek, which we should have won by more, especially given all of the opportunities that we had at the very end with all of the 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, 3-on-2. All of those opportunities that we had after we bagged that second goal, courtesy of Højlund, we should have won that rather handily. And so a little concerning there. Again, Onana with the howler there. And so we really have to do some shoring up in terms of, our defensive duties. And Onana needs to get his head back on straight because this is not it. Against a Manchester City team that has been struggling, we have a mixed bag of results every time that we go out to play Manchester City. You never know what you're going to get. In the FA Cup final, we won 2-1. We came back in the Community Shield, lost that. This will be our first leg of that particular fixture in the league this season, and with them being as haphazard as they have been in the last few weeks, it really opens the door to us to potentially go in and beat them away, at their home stadium, and so it's going to be an interesting one, and I think that we can do no less than put our best foot forward in terms of the lineup. As usual, I have Andre Onana starting in the back in goal. Gonna need a good performance from him. There are plenty of players on that Manchester City team that can punish you, and he's going to have a good game. That concerns me, given the types of mistakes that he's been making the last few weeks, the last few matches, and so really going to need him to step it up and put out a big performance and keep Erling Haaland off of the score sheet. In front of him, equally as important that they have a good game, which they have not necessarily had in the past few weeks. The back line that is, probably our most consistent mainstay in this team of Martinez, De Ligt, and Mazraoui. I think Mazraoui is the best performer thus far in that back line. I think that Martinez, since he's come back from injury, has looked not so great. And De Ligt is, you never know what you're going to get with De Ligt. He might, come in and boss the team, boss the opposition and keep them out and be really good aerially and not make a lot of mistakes. Or he could get caught ball watching, or just slow on the pickup and get beat for pace. You just don't know what you're going to get with him. So again, this is that match where we have to have a good performance. I think if we have a good performance from our defense, we win this match. But that is also what gives me pause, because they have not been performing recently. So hopefully we'll see some good things from them today, or not today, but Sunday. And if not, then we might be in for a long one, folks, against again a Manchester City team that is not performing to their fullest at this point. And it would be very bad if we were the ones to kick off their run of good form. So knock on wood, hopefully we can avoid that at all costs, and it'll come down to them quite heavily, that back line. So fingers crossed that Amorim's been able to drill into them the proper positioning, as well as throughout the rest of the team, to prevent them from getting those good opportunities in front of our net. In front of them, the people that are going to be providing them support from, the opposition of Manchester City is our midfield. Diogo Dalot, not the best performer here recently, and so cause for concern. I think Tyrell Malacia is starting to come into that position a little bit better, but I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he still needs a little bit more time to get into top shape and in top form, and so this would not be the match that I would choose to start Malacia, especially having had him start last time out in midweek on that left-hand side. So I think Dallow's going to get the nod here. He's been most consistently picked there throughout this season, and it seems like that's going to be his spot until Tyrell Malacia can shove him out of it, which I hope he does, but not this week. Next to him, Kobbie Mainoo, coming back from injury. He's had a couple runouts. I think that he's somebody that can punish Manchester City. He's done it in the FA Cup. He's done it all last season for us. He's just such a good young player and a young talent that is going to be in our lineups for the foreseeable future. I mean, he's got to be, right? He's just that good. He should be the person that's going to be linking up from in transition from defense to offense. He's got a good head on him in terms of his ability to hold up the ball and take people on and play smart under pressure. And I'd love to see some more of that here against Manchester City in what has been a struggling midfield, both for them and for us. If he can be that solid unifying presence that he has shown he can be, then we could do very good things. Next to him is Ugarte. I think he's got to start. I mean, he needs more playing time than what he's been getting. He's been coming off the bench, and I don't think that's the most sensible option for him. I think that he is, he's the future of that position. He's the destroyer, and he's going to be the person that's going to, really break up and disrupt everything that Manchester City is going to be trying to do. And so Casemiro just does not have the legs in him to be able to do that anymore. I would like to see Ugarte here, and I think he should get the nod. And without a doubt, the person next to him on the right is going to be Amad Diallo. There's no two ways about it. He's too good. He's great in that spot. He causes all types of problems, and he'll be able to help out Mazraoui with Doku, because that is one place that we can really get punished is that particular side of the pitch. Doku just has the ability to really cause problems, and he cut in and beat players for pace. And with Amad Diallo and Mazraoui over there, I think that we could definitely stand a chance of limiting Doku's ability to impact the game. Up ahead of that midfield, Alejandro Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes. I think this is just the most sensible option. Garnacho is probably the best option in that particular slot. I think that he and Marcus Rashford have kind of been competing for that position, as well as, Joshua Zirkzee. He's another one that could potentially fill that role next to Bruno Fernandes, who is just omnipresent in all of our lineups week in, week out. He's just too good. And he's been finding his form here recently. He's done a great job of facilitating our offense like he normally does. And his ability to shoot the ball is not wanting, and I feel like he's going to be a major impact against a Manchester City team that has been struggling, and has been conceding goals. And so, those two could be very huge impact players, but there's no impact player greater than that of Rasmus Højlund at the moment. He is on fire. He is scoring goals. Just a phenomenal striker, and he's really showing that he's kind of becoming, indispensable in that striker position. He's got so many goals. He got 2 goals against Victoria Pilsen. He got 2 goals against Bodø Glimt. He's just doing everything that we were hoping that he would be doing this season. It just took him a little while to get up there, right? He's only got 2 goals in the Premier League this season, but he scored quite a few goals in the Europa League this season. And so we just need to find a way to get him to find that vein of form in the Premier League. And this could potentially be a match that, propels him to scoring more goals in the Premier League. Now, all of that being said, this is not going to be a walk in the park. A Manchester City team that has lost 7 out of the last 10 games is a Manchester City team that wants to make a big statement, wants to go out and get a win against a team that they have had plenty of success against in recent history. And so I think it's going to be a very tough, hard-fought game, and unfortunately I just don't know that we've got it in us to be able to beat a Manchester City team, even one that is at probably one of its lowest points in recent history. I mean, this is an unheard of poor run of form for them, but this is a special game to them. It's a special game to us too. It's just we have been getting the short end of the stick more often than not in this particular fixture over the last few years, and I think that trend is going to continue, unfortunately. Us being away, having played more recently than they have, it's just going to be hard. And so I'm thinking we're going to lose this game. I think it's going to be 3-1. The Manchester City does like to score a goal, and I think that we have the capacity to do so again against them. I think that will be on display, and it's going to be a very, very hard fought match. I mean, Manchester City is normally very good in the press, and it's something that we struggle against. We've given up how many goals from other teams pressing and us trying to play out of the back, and it's just. It's difficult for me to see, an outcome where, Manchester City doesn't get at least 1 goal against us just from pressing. And so, yeah, I think that we lose this one, unfortunately, and it's not one that we want to lose, especially given all of the tough matches that we have coming up. But that's just my 2 cents. And, as much as I would love to go out and get a win, and I hope that we do, and I'm going to watch, and I'm going to really hope that happens, that we do come out on top and get those 3 points, because we need it, and we need them badly. I just don't see that happening. So 3-1's my prediction. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to give us a follow on Rumble or a subscribe on YouTube, and hit the like button on these videos. We definitely appreciate all of the engagement, and we will get back to any comments that you guys put down below, and so feel free to, and I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys on Sunday after the match, and it'll be myself, Sporadiclese, and TheSaffronMan doing the post-match review. So we will see you then, and thanks one more time for staying to the end of the video.